Okay, superset number 2. So this is 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. 2A and B are targeting the legs again, this time the front of the legs. Last time we did the back of the legs and the glutes. This time we're doing the front of the thighs. We always get butt whenever we work legs. Okay, so it's always hips and legs, but you're really going to feel your quads on this particular superset of A and B. A is a wall sit. You're going to hold it for 30 to 60 seconds. I'll explain when we get to it. Followed immediately by a goblet side lunge. Goblet just means that you're going to hold a weight like this, and we're going to do side lunge. Those two back to back, no rest between them. Then you can rest if you like before you do C and D. C and D are both pushing exercises. So C is going to be a single arm push press. We've never done it before. I'm going to teach you how to do it. 8 to 10 reps for that. I forgot to say that the goblet side lunge is 12 to 15 reps each leg. So a wall sit for 30 to 60 seconds, then a goblet side lunge for 12 to 15. Then when we get to the pushing exercises, single arm push press, one arm at a time, 8 to 10 on each side. Immediately followed by a pike push up, which you did in month 3 or 4, I believe, and as many as possible. AMAP is what it says on your log, and that means as many as possible. So 2 shoulder exercises in a row, okay? Then you'll rest as long as you like and get some water, and then you'll go back and do 2A, 2B without rest, 2C and 2D without rest, and then we have a third superset that we'll go over. So this is superset number 2, and I'm going to show you how to do wall sit, which is the first one. So you're going to find a wall or a door, someplace that you can lean. You're going to lean against it with your shoulders, and then you can step out, okay? Step away from the wall. The thing that's nice about this is if you try to sit down and your knees don't like it, you can come up and put your feet even further away before you sit down, okay? So that is very adjustable. Once you slide down and you're sitting in a squat, you're going to hold it for 30 to 60 seconds sitting here. You're going to have your phone with you, you're going to use your stopwatch, and you're going to sit here for 30 to 60 seconds. It's going to be uncomfortable. Almost right away it's going to be uncomfortable on your quads. But you can, as you kind of settle in, at first there's almost like a panic, like, oh, this is awful, but it's really not as awful as you think, especially if you push your feet into the floor. You can pull your pelvic floor up, you can squeeze your glutes a little bit so that you're really kind of helping yourself sit here instead of just letting your quads do it all. You let your whole body help you. You keep your shoulder blades against the wall. And then as far as how long to hold it, if your legs are shaking at 30 seconds, I think you can go ahead and stop. It might be 40 seconds. It might be 60 seconds. For me, it is 60 seconds before my legs, they start getting shaky at like 50. And then I can hold it for 60. Then when you finish, you can use your hands to help you get up. And you are going to feel it immediately in your quads. Okay. Then we're going to go right away, without rest at all, into a side lunge. Let me show you the basic move, and then I'll show you how to hold the weight. You're going to take a wide stance, really wide, like almost like your warm-up stance. And you're going to sink back into one of your hips. So your knee is bending, sticking your butt out, and then stand back up. And we're going to stay on one leg and do this same leg over and over again. And you're trying to sit back as far as you can, get your butt back behind you and bend your knee, come back up to standing. So you're just pushing yourself away from the floor. When you get to the bottom, it's like you're stuck in a hole and you're going to push yourself away from the floor. All reps on one side, and then you'll go to the other side, sit back, and then come forward. You can, if you don't want to use weights because you've never done this before, you can put your hands out in front to give you some balance. I actually think it's easier to do it with a weight than it is without, even if you've never done it before. And you can start with a light weight. You're going to hold it like a goblet hold just to keep it out of the way. And it's going to stay there. And it's kind of a counterweight. It almost pretty much lets you sit back further than you could if you didn't have a weight. I find that I do better with a weight because of the counterbalance of it. So you just keep it cupped right in front of your chest while you sit back. Okay? So those are the two, that's A and B. Then, so those are for quads, you should get a good burn in your quads. Then we're going to go into C and D, which are for pushing exercises. So a push press It's a variation on an overhead press like this. But instead of just a slow press, we're actually going to do just a little jog, almost like a little bounce out of your knees is pretty much what you're doing. Kind of an elastic at your knees, and then you push the dumbbell up. You go up on your toes a little bit. So you bend your knees a little bit, there's a little bit of elastic, and it helps you quickly thrust this dumbbell up. You're getting a little pre-load, kind of like a little bit of momentum. It's like a coiled spring, so that then you can use your whole body to press the dumbbell up. And these are really good because working the muscles that help us move weights quickly is something that's important to do as we get older. We've had some other exercises like swings, for instance, that also are fast moving exercises where it's supposed to be explosive. And that's what this exercise is. So you can use a heavier weight than you could, if you were just standing here pressing it, you might not be able to actually do as many. I think I've got you at 8 to 10 on this. Let me check. Yeah, I've got you at 8 to 10 on this. So you're gonna do one side, then the other, little jog and then up, little jog and up, press it up. You'll get the hang of this right away. It's a little bit of a balance challenge, that's a good thing. So you finish all your reps, put your weight down, and then you're back into that pike push-up that we learned before where your butt is up in the air, you're on your toes, hands are right underneath you, and you're lowering your head down right in between your hands and back up. Your arms and shoulders are gonna be tired, that's the whole point. So you're just gonna get as many as you can. You might only get 5. I'm not giving you a number because I don't know what you can get. But I can tell you that my arms were really tired. I can usually do those with my feet elevated, and I know I have at least one student in this program who can also do it with feet elevated, so you probably won't need to do that this time because of the exercises being back to back. So that's C and D. Then you would, after you've done A, B, C, and D, you rest, and then you go do them again.